Hey everybody, this is Doa, and I've got an awesome game to cast for you today. At least I'm just assuming it's awesome because the players in it are awesome. We have two Zergs, so again, trying to rectify the lack of Zerg in my channel lately. We have LiquidHayprO spawning as the blue Zerg in the 12 o'clock position on Scrap Station. His opponent is actually going to be LeenockfOu. I'm so psyched to be casting a game of Leenock. I've been a huge fan of his ever since I started watching him play in GSL. Definitely one of the best Zergs over in Korea right now. Excellent decision-making skills. So yeah, I think we're in for a real treat in this ZvZ on Scrap Station. Now this replay is a wonderful gift from us, from our good friends at TeamLiquid.net. This was in the Team Liquid replay ladder pack that they released in the Team Liquid weekly number 27, I believe it was, just a day or two ago. So if you've never heard of TeamLiquid.net, definitely go check it out. Mwah, Overlord kiss there, as they do pass going to each other's bases to do a little bit of scouting. But yeah, TeamLiquid.net, I think back in the SC2 beta, I just did something like Terran build orders search in Google, and I stumbled across the site and bookmarked it about 5 minutes later and have not left since then. That's right, it has been open on my browser for almost a year straight now, and I realize that's kind of a short time compared to how long the site's been around. But yeah, just awesome site, awesome community, awesome team. Definitely check it out, and a big thanks to them for releasing these replay packs pretty consistently. It's really awesome to get to watch these games, study them, and in my case get to cast them as well. So we see Leenock trying to cause a little bit of trouble for HayprO as he tries to go for his hatch first there. He's going to be driven away by that drone, and yeah, HayprO does get his expansion up pretty easily about the same time as LeenockfOu started his as well. Of course, Leenock playing for the FOU clan in Korea. Really young player actually too. I think he's only about 15 or 16. And so yeah, but really plays with the experience, I would say, of someone who who's had a lot more RTS experience than I believe he's had. So gas going down for Leenock right now, and looks like gas going down for HayprO as well. And what the heck? It is a Manor Evolution Chamber from Leenock, and that actually causes HayprO to have to cancel his gas and take it over here instead. There's a spawning pool for HayprO as well. So Leenock just using a little bit of a interesting tactic, I guess you could say, to sort of prevent HayprO from getting his gas. Try to delay that just a little bit, and if they are both indeed going to go for something like Banelings, every second counts, just because every second means, you know, one or two less Banelings that you have out than your opponent, which can really make the difference in ZvZ. Looks like HayprO trying to gang up on that drone, but Leenock does escape just in time. So spawning pool down for both players right now. Looks like the timing is going to be about similar. Let's take a look at the resources right now. Looks like yeah, Leenock was able to get a pretty significant lead in the early game on gas. He does have 92 to about the 60 of HayprO right now, and sure, that may not seem like a lot just in terms of gas, but at this time in the game, that actually does make a big difference, and we're going to watch to see what the players are going to do with that. No Zergling speed, it looks like, for each player yet. Hatcheries up for both of them as well. Good scouting overlords in position there. And there's the Zergling speed actually starting at the exact same time for both players, and I'm a little bit surprised about that, because really Leenock could have started his speed quite a bit earlier, but just not doing it. You know, if he would have used that gas advantage to start that speed exactly when he could have, he would have been a little bit ahead of HayprO, but as it is, when the actual click occurred, it was about the same time. Looks like we do have a couple Zerglings coming out on the field right now for LiquidHayprO, getting that Baneling nest as well. So HayprO is indeed going to go for some Baneling aggression on this. Still fairly standard in ZvZ, although you are starting to see more roach-based openings. On a big map like Scrap Station, you do tend to see more roaches than speedlings, at least in my experience anyway lately. I guess I can't speak for the Korean server, but it looks like both of these players are indeed going to be going for Banelings. There is the Baneling nest going up for LeenockfOu as well. And a little bit of Zergling on Zergling action going on outside the base of Leenock. He's got plenty of links to try to chase this off with. Into ZvZ, really the unit counting station is where you want to be looking. 14 lings right now for Leenock, just 8 for HayprO. And looks like a little bit of lag for my computer. Hold it together, girl. My computer's a girl, apparently. Like an old trusty horse, I suppose. But anyway, let's not go into that anymore. So it looks like Leenock chasing the units of HayprO back to his base. HayprO does have a few Zerglings out on the field right now as well, some Banelings. Leenock's going to need to be very careful, losing a few Zerglings to the lings of HayprO as well. Banelings morphing in for Leenock, but they all get taken out by HayprO. Lots of Banelings blowing each other up there, and now HayprO can push the advantage. Chasing Leenock around the map a little bit here. Think Benny Hill soundtrack. And going down, maybe just doing a little bit of scouting at the same time, making sure there's no hidden gold expansion. Not a bad thing to do as well. In the meantime, more Zerglings coming out right now for Leenock. HayprO trying to do a little bit of an incursion here, and here is where it gets really hard to keep track of all this in a ZvZ. Right now, it looks like HayprO does have the superior numbers, 21 to 15 for Leenock as far as Zerglings go, but HayprO does have those Banelings out right now, and the Banelings are nearing the base of Leenock. Leenock morphing in some Banelings as well as his own there. And moving in with some Zerglings as well, losing a lot to the Banelings of HayprO. HayprO getting into the base with a couple Lings, but Leenock is able to hold them off with a few Lings of his own. More Banelings coming in for HayprO. Banelings for Leenock going the other way as well. Right now, HayprO has gotten a lot of Ling kills. Is this Baneling going to get a few? It does get 4. That's a pretty significant amount for a Baneling to get, and just a huge amount of Banelings coming out. HayprO trying to whittle them down one by one with a few Zerglings here. He's going to lose just a couple from that aggression. And right now, the Banelings for Leenock getting ever closer to the base of HayprO. He's going to lose quite a few Zerglings from these. And indeed he does, so there's really high economy Baneling aggression coming out from both players. They do have 2 bases going, of course, with that. This base not really terribly saturated. A little bit better for Leenock right now. He is slightly ahead in the drone count, 23 to 22. Actually, I take it back, HayprO is slightly ahead. But right now, both players just trying to gain every little advantage they can. More Banelings coming in from HayprO, taking out 3 Lings of Leenock there before pulling back. And it looks like we do have some Overlords doing a little bit of scouting. All the action right here is at this point in the map. Zergling streaming Bass. It looks like HayprO is going to be doing the aggression, and this is really kind of what you see in ZvZ when these types of games occur. It's just back and forth aggression, players bypassing each other with those Banelings, going on move command, making sure the Lings take them out. HayprO trying to bait Leenock into using some of his Banelings right there. Looks like a Baneling for HayprO does get in, but the Queen, Hero Queen saves the day right there. The Banelings not being able to cause any damage really at all. Lots of Lings for Leenock streaming out towards the base of HayprO right now. HayprO bringing in a couple more Banelings, but it looks like Leenock has the superior Zergling numbers. He's got to be really careful. These HayprO Banelings are coming in right now. They do take out one of the Lings of Leenock, but right now Leenock still with the advantage, although the advantage really can change very, very quickly in his ZvZ. It all comes down to Micro HayprO bringing in a lot more Banelings right now. 6 on the way for him. Leenock still trying to get an advantage with those Lings, trying to pick off a few, and here comes Leenock with a pretty well-organized attack. These Banelings come in right now, and Leenock using all of his Banelings to take out the Banelings of HayprO. Lots more for HayprO coming in right now. Leenock really could just run past, but no, he is going to morph in more Zerglings. Looking to see if those rocks have been taken down. They have not quite yet. Leenock needs to be very, very careful. There's a lot of Banelings out right now for HayprO. 10 Banelings as opposed to just 6 for Leenock. Those numbers do go down right now. Leenock trying to whittle down the numbers again. Banelings taking each other out there, and I think HayprO came out a little bit behind in that engagement. Leenock used 2, HayprO used 3. So at this point, something's got to give. If we take a look at the production chart for just a second, looks like we looked at it just in time, as there is a Roach Warren coming out right now for LeenockfOu. I don't think anything coming out right now for HayprO as far as that goes. Nothing quite yet, so for now, HayprO is still going for the Baneling Zergling aggression, morphing in quite a few more Banelings right now, 7 on the way. If we go back to the unit counting station, let's take a look at that. Equal numbers of Zerglings. Oh, not anymore, though. Big hit for Leenock right now. And HayprO down to just 1 Zergling and 2 Banelings on the map. Leenock with the advantage. And I'm really curious to see what we are going to see with this. HayprO with some more Banelings. Leenock getting pretty far ahead in terms of worker count too, 34 to 27. So Leenock was able to keep the advantage with those Zerglings. HayprO moving in with quite a few Banelings now. Leenock's gonna try to pick them all off. HayprO following that up with a good amount of Speedlings as well. Having to pull back those Banelings though. Leenock still having a good amount of Lings himself. And right now HayprO just playing a little bit defensively, I would say. At this point he just wants to hold off the aggression. Leenock is basically held back to his base at this point. He does have a good amount of Roaches though. Those are going to do a great job buffering damage from those Zerglings when HayprO does move in. And here comes HayprO right now. He's going to try to get as much of a surround as he can, but that's a good amount of Roaches for Leenock. Yeah, I don't think those Zerglings are going to be able to cause too much damage. HayprO with quite a few, though. 24 Lings to the 8 of Leenock. 10 Roaches out right now for Leenock as well. Take a look at the production tab real quick. Roach Warren coming in for HayprO right now, so he's going to try to bring in some Roaches of his own as well. Yeah, worker count still favoring HayprO just slightly. I'm sorry, just Leenock just slightly. Sorry about that. HayprO doing a good job of taking map control right now. Leenock, while he does have those durable roaches, is a little bit less mobile now than he was before. He can't quite take map control as he could earlier in the game. He's going to need to keep a really close eye on these rocks down here, make sure that HayprO doesn't snipe those off. He's getting an evolution chamber as well, so I think he's going to be going into upgrades as fast as he can. Looks like Leenock is indeed getting the missile tax level 1 upgrade already here. Running out some speedlings to try to do some scouting. Yeah, he's just going to keep running past the units of HayprO, right into the banelings though. These Zerglings are going to get into the main base and see pretty much everything. They're going to see that there is another gas on the way as well as a lair. I don't think he's going to see the Roach Warren though. If he comes in, he probably will. Does he see it? Yes, he does indeed see the Roach Warren. Okay, so Leenock does know what HayprO is going for right now. We do have that lair on the way. Lair already up for Leenock, it looks like. And Leenock really just powering up the upgrades at this point, getting a Hydralisk cavern as well. Now, where is that? I would love to show it to you. There is a lovely Hydralisk den, not cavern. HayprO moving in with a good amount of Zerglings, so I don't know if it's going to be enough to break what Leenock has. In fact, I kind of doubt it, especially with the banelings there. Yeah, he may just be throwing some lings in there to try to get some of the banelings to detonate, but I don't think he's going to be able to get around the roaches. Yeah, Leenock doing a great job. Look at that. A nice wall of roaches from Leenock, making sure that those banelings from HayprO are not going to be able to, or banelings of Leenock rather, are not going to be able to be baited into exploding by the single lings of HayprO. Nice job by Leenock there. As I said, Leenock just with really, really good in-game decision making. I love watching this kid play. Really, really sad that we didn't get to see him play in the GSTL. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of him in the upcoming Season 5. Macro hatch going up for HayprO right now. Not really able to secure a third, so he is going to try to just get the extra larva there. We do also see 10 Hydralisks on the way for Leenock right now. HayprO again just trying to keep map control, trying to keep an eye on things. Here comes Leenock right now. Looks like he's going to move out and just sort of take a more forward position with these roaches. HayprO is going to be able to see quite a bit though with this Overseer. He's going to do some scouting, and he does see those Hydralisks. That, of course, will immediately take that out, and HayprO is going to need to be very, very careful right now. He does have the dangerous situation where he will be losing some Overlords if they get in range of the Hydras, and it looks like Leenock is just going to be going for these rocks right now. He could move ahead a little bit farther to take those rocks down a little bit quicker, and the question is, will HayprO see this? He can see the rocks right here, of course, but yeah, he did see that animation, you know, if he happened to be looking at the map at that point in time. He is moving these Overlords, so there's a pretty good chance he knows what Leenock is up to. And Leenock, I think we're going to see a lot of creep spread across the map right now. Looks like he did try to expand here, but HayprO was right there with the Zerglings, not letting him do that. Interestingly enough, Leenock moving down. Looks like he's going to try to secure that third before moving out. A little bit surprised that he took out the rocks here, as if HayprO takes out his rocks, that's going to leave a very easy way for lings to get in and cause a lot of damage. Roach is going down, trying to take out the lings of HayprO, and the Hydra is actually getting a little bit off on their own. That's a very, very dangerous spot for those Hydras to be right now, as lings could really get in there and kill them off. I won't say easily, but a lot more easily than they would without the Roach protection that has now gotten back into place. And let's see here. Yeah, a little bit of aggression coming on from HayprO, but right now HayprO really not able to get ahead too much. Both players still fairly even in terms of army count, 162 to 141. If we go to the unit counting station again, even up on drones, 51-51. Banelings for HayprO, or for Leenock rather, coming down to try to secure that third. And indeed, HayprO has taken out the rocks, so he's got a straight shot to the base of Leenock. Is he going to take it? Looks like he is indeed moving into with his own Roach Hydra army. Roach is getting way, way ahead of the Hydralisks. He's going to need to pull up just a second. Wait for them to come back. And of course, the creep from Leenock doing just as good for the Hydras of HayprO as his own creep does. So you are kind of benefiting your opponent by spreading creep in this particular situation. Very, very rare that we actually see a ZvZ get into this stage, into this longer macro game. But I love it. I'm really excited to get to see this and cast this game. Roaches for Leenock moving across that point. Are they going to try to get in and do some damage? It looks like they are. No pulling back just in time. Alright, so just trying to show a little bit of aggression. Trying to fake HayprO out for where he might be. HayprO, though, moving out here, but deciding to pull back again. And in terms of the army, both players still about even right now. 181 to 180. 180 to 180. Dead even at the moment. And an infestation pit going up for LeenockfOu, it looks like. Meantime, upgrades for both players. Carapace and missile attacks level 2 being researched. Leenock's units are 2 while HayprO's are 1-1. So Leenock does lead in the upgrades department, of course. Looks like HayprO may be planning on moving in, but the upgrades do favor Leenock. That may be not the best idea, man. Thinking about the game, not thinking about speaking English. This base looks pretty secure though, and Leenock is in a great spot at the moment. He does need to worry about that middle road, of course, through the middle of the map, but he does have his third fairly well secured right now. Taking a look at the unit counting station again, a lot of banelings out for Leenock as well. 12 to 2 that HayprO has, and these players just gearing up for an attack. It looks like here comes HayprO. He's going to get a fairly nice concave, forcing Leenock to pull back, but Leenock does have the upgrades. Actually, both are 2-2 right now. Here come the banelings wasting themselves on the roaches. That's not going to do a whole lot. And yeah, I really don't know who's going to come out on top. I think Leenock has got it. His concave is slightly better, but HayprO has a lot of hydras. Looks like it's going to come down to just Hydra against Hydra, and LeenockfOu does have the advantage. HayprO, GG's, and Leenock able to secure that third, get just a little bit ahead in economy, able to produce enough units, get the great concave at the end in that last battle, and able to take this game. Great game from both players, and boy, if that doesn't get you pumped for GSL Season 5, I don't think anything will. So wow, thanks for joining me for this awesome game, guys. Again, if this is Doa casting, I do some live stuff with the Rush Network. Check us out. I think I'm casting on Saturday and Sunday this week, so look us up at www.therushnetwork.com. Thanks again for Team Liquid for releasing these replay packs. TeamLiquid.net, check them out. I love them. They're awesome. Again, this is Doa happily casting StarCraft 2 for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep playing StarCraft 2, and I will see you on the next cast.